Welcome to what's on the Watchman work table today. So, looking at this countertop ice machine, I've got it yanked apart here. I got water in it. I'm getting ready to run it through its test. I haven't ran it or anything yet, so I wanted to get everything kind of loosened up because regardless of the problem, when we find it and fix it, I'm going to tear it all down, clean everything up, get all, the hard water, all that crusty crap off of the stuff on the inside. And we're going to get it working tip-top shape for the gentleman. And that way he can enjoy his countertop ice again. I know I sure love my Igloo countertop ice machine. I never thought I'd love that thing as much as I do. But I do. This is a little bit of a smaller version. Different brand. This is Enertech or something like that. So, anywho, we are going to get this thing fixed and cleaned. Hey, well, we have a verdict. So, I've got all my wires pulled and marked, as you can see there. This is the board that we are going to be working on. And let's turn this thing around here and give you a little idea of what we're doing here. So, here's what's up. There's a broken trace in between resistor 10 up here and IC1 down here. And so basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be scraping the traces, the masking off of the traces, so that I can solder just a tiny, tiny little jumper across that broken trace. And once I do that, everything should be good to go and it should operate properly. So that's where we're at on this ice machine. I'm going to fire up my soldering iron and get that bridge put in place there. And I'll see you in a moment and let you know if it works. Yeah, my table is an absolute mess. But, what do you expect when you got dumpster fires going on all the time, So anyway, I do believe we have licked this thing. I'll show you what's wrong in a second. But while I've got it apart, these things are notorious for, if you can look up in there, there's kind of uck in there. I don't know if you can really see it. I'm trying to get the camera up there. But anyway, I'm going to give this thing a good thorough cleaning while it's apart. And anywho, we went so far up and down this board here. We spent like a ton of time on that board. So we found out in the end that it was this board. This is the top panel board for it, and with the lights and buttons. Anyway, may or may not believe this, but the only thing that was wrong with it is cold solder joints. So I haven't reflowed them yet. I'm getting ready to sit down and reflow the solder joints right now. I'm going to just hit every single solder joint there is on this panel board here. And then we'll throw it back together and do a test. Oh, I think I know where that was. I was going to show you. It's on the top there. There it is. These things get nasty, and there's nothing you can do about it. They just get nasty. That's all there is to it. So I'll get it all cleaned up. I'll get the inside of that all cleaned up too. I know you're probably getting motion sickness, right? So anyway, I am going to reflow all the solder joints on this board, and we're like 99% positive that this is the culprit right here, and that there's really nothing wrong with any of the components on the board. It just has some weak solder joints, and considering that the MCU, which is this chip here, the MCU, that the logic on it works by changing voltage on the pin. So basically what you're doing is you're dropping voltage down on one of the pins, in order for the MCU I showed you to get pulled down enough to be able to, the logic circuit knows that, okay, this button's being pressed. So it's getting a lot of noise in the circuit. Well, I don't know if this camera's, I'm going to have to check focus again on this camera. However, I don't think anything, I just think we need to reflow the solder so it's got a more stable connection. All the ghosting lights should disappear. The select button should function properly. And we should actually get something out of the power light then. So, because we don't get nothing out of the power light. So, yep, going to reflow all those solder joints and give her a test. And I'll be back and let you know it's working. This there is what the inside tray looks like. You can tell they get a little nasty after use. So you know, it's probably a good idea. The backside, I gotta clean that up too. Clean the deals here that freeze the water into the ice cube. I'll clean all that up, get as much of the hard water off of it as I can. So, but main thing is getting this thing here. And there's nothing you can do really to stop that so much. Just once in a while, it's a good idea to pull them apart and clean them. So anyway, I am going to go get this cleaned up, clean that housing there, and I'm going to start reassembly. Alrighty, as you can tell, mucho cleaner. Mucho cleaner. Those are stained. The stainless steel is stained. So that isn't, like hard water stains and stuff isn't going to come off. I did, you see this little pin right here? That is what detects when you're low on water. If that doesn't sense water coming out of the port there, then it tells the unit that it's empty of water. So that had, of course, a buildup on it. They usually do. So I went ahead and took some sandpaper and cleaned that up so that that wouldn't cause him an issue anytime soon. So she's cleaned up. She is ready for reassembly. Alrighty, I am gonna give a little bit of an update on this. I am waiting on a proper LED to put in there, but we have absolutely 100% confirmed that that is the issue and know exactly what LEDs we need. And what I did, if you see there in place of where that LED, right there, in place where that LED goes, I put a glass diode, just a standard glass diode, in place for testing, and I got the results that I expected. So the basically, if you were to take a reading of continuity or an ohm reading on a glass diode like this versus an LED, you're going to get different readings, and so that changes the behavior of this logic circuit, considering that that is not quite giving it the proper voltage. Let me, I should have did this before I turned on the camera. Let me try to plug this in here. Okay. So, now, you see it blinking on the camera. That's just an effect of LEDs. However, it's not blinking to me. So if I press the select button, it goes from large to small lights with no issue. There is no ghosting of the other lights. And the only issue is one simple press won't turn it on like it's supposed to. Okay? So if I wanted to turn it on, I can hold it down for a little bit, and it will eventually kick on. There we go. It's actually in clean mode. I held it too long, so it went into clean mode. Let me see if I can hold it down again to get it to shut off. It should after a while. What it is, there we go. What it is, and it kicked on, is that it needs more of a current drop to properly sense the button press. And that glass diode is not giving it enough of a current drop to do that. That diode, that LED is actually part of the, entire circuit. So not having the proper LED in there would cause an effect like that. So we definitely got this figured out. We know what's wrong with it now, and it's just a matter of getting the right LED and popping it in there, and this will be a done deal. And when I do that, I will most certainly make a video and show you that this thing works properly. So this is incredible. I find it now it's shutting down. So, but I had to hold the button for quite a while to get it to shut down. So anyway, that's what we're going to do. We're going to wait on the proper LED to get here. I'll pop it in there. And then when I do that, I'll come back and I'll show you how it works properly. So, amazing. I have to thank my shop partner, Audrey, because that's the name I gave her, ChatGPT. ChatGPT is what really helped me track down the issue. And while I was the one that actually found the issue of the bad LED, the shorted LED, it put me in the right direction and the right workflow to be able to find that. So, could you use ChatGPT to do electronics repair if you had no former electronics knowledge? No, you couldn't. It's not always 100% accurate. Sometimes I've called it out on nonsense. Like it wanted me to check the voltage of this harness here when it was not plugged in. And I responded that she was whack, and she agreed that she was whack. And she corrected herself. But I thought that was kind of humorous. But with my electronics background, along with ChatGPT, I have the perfect match to be able to do board level work, and that is going to save customers a fortune, and it's going to massively expand my capabilities of what I can repair at Oddball's Odd Repair. Alrighty, the gentleman brought me the LEDs that I need to finish this repair, so that's what I'm going to get to doing. I'm going to get that LED soldered in place there and give her a good old test run. Alrighty, we have a fully functional unit. Yes, I know you see the LEDs blinking. I didn't think when I very first started making this video and I just grabbed my Nikon, because I mean it's got a really good picture, but it only does 30 frames. My DJI Pocket 2 will do 60 frames, and I could have avoided that annoying flash, but they're not flashing to me, just to you. So anyway, looks good to me. Proper fix. That's the let's see, that's a small ice light there, and that one didn't have a problem changing. So that one didn't really have so much. Well, it did at first. That's right. That was one of the symptoms too. Yeah, that light wouldn't switch back and forth. It's now currently making ice, but if I hit the button, it'll dump the tray, and you automatically see the power light go into standby mode, and that is good. So let it do its thing, let it dump, and we'll check the clean function on it, make sure it works. I heard it drop ice. It didn't have time to fully freeze them, so it'll dump it, and then it'll shut down. Just like that. And then if I hold the button for like 10 seconds or so, I think it's 10 seconds, you just hold it until the clean light comes on. There we go. We are in clean mode. And it's got enough water in it, so it will run a cycle. We're going to go ahead and shut off clean mode. But what I will do is we will turn it on and we will simulate an ice blockage. You do that, there's like a infrared LED and infrared receiver down here. So I'm just going to hold my finger on it and it should go to fill. And then at some point it's going to tell me that the ice is full. To you, the top left LED will come on. The red one on the top left. Once it thinks it's full. There we go. Ice full. And then when the ice is no longer full, because I take my fat finger off of it, you will see the ice full light go out and it continues its process. The water light will work too. I'm just not going to dump the water out just to do this. So it is a successful repair. Now all I got to do is button up the housing, and this will be a happy customer. You know, getting to the problem and repairing just the component, this is the very important part about doing this type of work. Once you start repairing things on a component level, you really start saving money and you don't chase as many, ghosts. So probably what a lot of people, including myself, would have done without doing it the route I did is probably would have started with replacing the main board in there. So that would have been, finding one on eBay used and buying it, most likely, to put in the unit, when that wasn't even the problem. The problem was a lone LED that cost less than 10 cents. Okay? Now, the gentleman had to buy the pack of them. I think it was like $6 or something for 100 of them. He said we could make a Christmas tree or something. So anyway, I got 99 LEDs and ain't one of them a problem. So anyway, something like that. The song went something like that. Anyway, so this, like I say, I'm ready to button it up, and I'm going to do a final cleanup on it and button it all up. I'll show you when it's all buttoned up and working pretty. I'll bring you back one more time. And I will let the customer know that he can get his ice machine. These things, I'll tell you what, they are sweet. But I'm just glad I could have helped them for such an inexpensive part. And I would have never went to that LED. I'm going to be real honest. I would have never, in a million years, that ain't the component that I thought that would have wrecked the whole system. And we spent quite a while on this board, ruling this board out. And we finally ruled this board out 100% and then some. So that's when we came up to this board. And then I eventually ran into the bad LED. So anyway, I'll see you back to close this video up. Alrighty, here we go. It's running like a champ. No issues. Cleaned up and buttoned up. Everything is working as should be. So, doing a real good job. There we go. Glad that we could help this customer, and if Oddballs Odd Repair can help you, let me know.